Hello, we will be discussing the current and current density today. So the flow of current. We are introduced with the current now, how the current flows. So the current is basically it is same in any cross sections. To explain it further, just look at just look at this water hose. You see the water is coming out of this hose. So the water, the quantity of water which is coming out of this hose, this must be equal to the water, entering to the hose. So the total water, the flow of the water, this remains constant in the entire hose. It doesn't depend upon the geometry of the hose, which basically means that if this hose is narrower in some places and wider in other places, so the quantity of water remains same. Similarly, for example, this is a conductor and the current flows from left to the right. So you see at different points, the cross section is different. For example, look at the cross section here, A and A dash, along these orientations, and here you see the B and B dash. This is wider than the A and A dash. Then here you see the C and C dash, um, which is equal in the in the, you can say, in the cross section to the A dash, but it is its orientation is different from the one of the A dash. So the flow of current, it remains constant throughout this conductor, and the reason for that is because the charges remain conserved, the quantity of charges remain conserved. And take this analogy and apply it somewhere here. So here we state that under steady condition means when the current doesn't change with time, um, the current is same for the planes AA dash, BB dash, C and CC dash, and all planes pass completely through the conductors, of course. So no matter what their location or orientation, so look, the location of A dash and BB dash and CC dash are different from each other, and the orientation of CC dash is different from the orientation of A dash and BB dash. So in on what basis do we state that? The basis is that the charge remains conserved. Okay. Another property of the current is that current is scalar because both charge and time are scalars in the equations. Do you see these equations? We say that I is equal to dq by dt. It is the basic definition of the current. So charge is scalar here, time is scalar here, so that's why we say that current is scalar. Usually we put this arrow sign for the current, but it just shows the flow of current, not the direction of current. It doesn't mean the direction. It's valid for this geometry as well. So now current density, you know, current density, what is current density? We define it in a while, but look at this figure. Here you see this is streamlines, which represents basically current, and current density in the flow of charge through a constricted conductor. So you see the conductor's shape is different in different places. Here it is wider and here it is narrower. So the current, as we stated earlier, that the current will remain conserved, it will remain same for both cross sections. It means the current or the flow of charge carriers here will be equal to the flow of charge carriers here. So But what is varying, that is current density. So you see these lines which represent the current density, they are wider here. The space, the mutual space between the lines is greater than the mutual space between the lines here in this region. So we say that the current density is greater in this region than this one. So in equation we write I, which is current, is equal to J dot A. Now if the current is uniform across the surface, which we have assumed here, and parallel to dA, if it is parallel to dA, so look at the equations, then J is also uniform. We say that it is uniform and parallel to dA. So how? Look at this. If both are parallel, so uh, the angle is 0 between them, and cos 0 is equal to 1, and we write I is equal to J dot JDA. So we can take the J out of the integral because it is constant in dA. So dA is basically the area of a particular element of this conductors, and dA, when we take integral, then it becomes JA, and we can rearrange these equations. So here you see is J is equal to I over A. So it can become the definition of J, current density, which is basically current per unit area. So what is A? A is the total area of this surface. A is the total area of this surface. So from the equation here you see J is equal to I over A. So the unit, the SI unit of J, it is ampere, is the unit of I, current, and A, which is area, meter square. So ampere per meter square is the unit. Ampere per square meter is the unit of J. So now, for example, this is uh, a conductor. So you see here, and this is connected to a battery, and the electric field direction is shown. It goes from right to left, and you see the positive charge carriers, they are moving in the direction of electric field, and this is the direction of I, current, and this is a particular length of a conductor. So now the number of charge carriers in a length, in this length of the wire, is NaL. So L is the length and A is the cross sectional area. So what is N? N is the number of charge carriers. N is the number of charge carriers per unit volume. So NaL, then NaL is the number of charge carriers in a length of wire. How much the total number of charge carriers? This is this one. Now look, the total charge of the carrier in the length L, each with charge E, is then is equal to Q is equal to NaLe. So this is the total charge, and what is NaL is the number of charge carriers. Now we know that T, which is time, for this charge carriers to travel this length, this distance, and with the speed Vd, which is drift speeds, and that is drifted by electric field. Okay, so drifted speed is quite low as compared to the random speed of the charge carriers. For example, it is 10 to the power minus 4 or 10 to the power minus 5 second meter per second, while the random motion of the charge carriers, that is 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Somehow, so T is equal to L over Vd, and if you put the values of okay, the next equation is I is equal to Q over T, definition of current. If you put the value of Q from here in these equations and value of T from here into these equations, this will become NALE over L over VD. So L and L can be cancelled out and this will become NAEVD. So you can rearrange these equations. For VD, it will become I over NAE. Okay, and J is equal to NE, J over NA. So where J is equal to I over A, it means this I over A is replaced by a J, this one. Okay, R, J is equal to, you can just rearrange it, NEVD, where NE is the carrier charge density. So for positive charges, the Ne is positive. It means if the charges are positive, it will become J is equal to NeVD. But if the charges are negative, then it will be equal to J is equal to minus NeVD. So it means for positive charges, the direction of current density in VD it will be same, and for negative charges, current density in VD will be in opposite direction.